Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, the meeting will be held under the Open Meetings Act. I think I was supposed to write down there. The mayor will not be with us tonight, so I'm filling in for him. So can I have a motion to excuse him from tonight's meeting?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Radcliffe, second by Sherman. Mayor's excused.
Elwinger,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes. Okay, I need an approval of the minutes held on April 26, 2022. Or any questions that may be asked about the minutes? Any questions? Can I have a
Bottom
vote?
line move, we approve those minutes.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion is made to approve by Mr. Sherman, and Ms. Elwinger will second that motion. I'm a little rusty.
Doing great.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes,
Elwinger.
Yes.
okay. Do we have any comments that aren't published on the agenda? Okay. Please identify yourself at the podium.
My name's Jared Schnell. I live on a property just east of the dump, and I just want to voice some concern with the level of trash that's blown onto our property. I've had prior discussion with some of the people in the room and a councilman, and I know there's talk of a vacuum truck that's going to be utilized to clean up the trash that's there. I know there's the short staff and that. I kind of want to bring forward the idea of maybe preventing the trash from getting over there in the first place, of maybe a taller fence similar to a driving range or something like that, where the truck doesn't have to be utilized to pull the waste off my property. I just want to, on record, that we've had the discussion and that plans are being brought forward that are going to bring an end to the trash coming across the road. I do understand it's windy, but western Nebraska, I don't think that's ever going to go away. So I do have some pictures if the board wants to see them or council wants to see them. But that's all I really have, and want to get kind of the discussion moving on your guys' side. Thanks.
You can absolutely see pictures. You just need to, if you're going to discuss this, you need to be sure that it's on the agenda, and for the next time.
Gotta leave them here for the
Yep.
Thank you for your comments. The next item on the agenda,
We can't ask any questions about this.
I understood we couldn't.
You should wait and put it on the agenda for the next time, so anybody else has a chance to appear. So, yeah.
I have had conversations. Can I talk about my conversations with them I've had with her?
I think you can give information, but yeah, we don't want to.
Mr. Snell did reach out to me, and we've had some conversations, and just for the council's information, he's right. What we did talk about was we've had in the last couple months 3 of our last 4 hires at the landfill have all left to go work at other places. One went to Aloda's place. Fiber, another one, I can't remember where that is, but and quite frankly, they just were looking for higher paying jobs, but that puts us in a spot where we'll have to probably pull employees from other departments just to finish the routes. So we're struggling to get it cleaned up, and the wind has been, really bad this year for the last 6 weeks or so. You know how that, well, you all live here, so you know that. And then we do have a 4-month out lead time on our MAGVAC, which we're 3 months through now, so I'm hoping that will come in here in the next 3 or 4 weeks. We are trying. I even addressed the city staff this morning in the council or staff meeting to see if anybody would be willing to go up there for some extra overtime or whatever to help out. So I'm waiting to hear back on that, but we're going to try to do everything we can, I assure you that. That's all I have to say.
Do you want it on the next agenda?
I don't know that we need to make it an agenda item, do we?
If you're going to
It didn't
discuss
look
it,
like you wanted it. You didn't
I
look
was going to
like
say,
you
if you're going to discuss it as far as what you're going to do next, you need to put it on, but otherwise, that's fine.
wanted it. No, I think I'll.
Wait,
So we can get a progress report in the future and have it on the agenda, right?
you can put it on your city manager's report if you want.
That's fine, I can talk about it under city manager.
Okay.
Rather than, I didn't want to like drag him in here every meeting to
Very
hear the
good.
same things.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the plumber insurance report on the city's insurance. Rob Robinson. What's that?
Well, I'm Rob Robinson. I know all you guys. Yeah, I just was pleased. EMC paid a dividend of 23% this year, almost 24%. I'd given it previously to Dave, rather than us hold it till the next board meeting. Like I explained to Dave, this is a dividend off of all the cities and municipalities and villages that the EMC writes under this program. It's not just the city of Sydney, but I'm guessing some 30 cities and villages. And it's an overall loss experience under their property and their general liability, work comp, autos. So, and probably 90% of it is good weather because, like, all the cities have a big exposure to property, and I guess they've been blessed. We've been blessed here for several years without a terrible hailstorm. So, but I didn't know if you had any specific questions. I explained to Dave that the work comp experience ratio is based on a 3-year average of just the city of Sydney claims. So the city of Sydney can control their loss experience under work comp just by their own claims and their own risk management and whatnot. Overall, all the cities together, following good risk management practices and claim management and whatnot, they all share and share alike. But as far as the like for the city of Sydney, we work with them. A couple things under work comp. We did we have a return to work program, which in many cases, if you can get an employee back to work, it does save you on your experience mod. The city's current work comp experience mod is 1.3%, so it's a 3% surcharge. It went up from 1.06 a year ago, and then it was 0.93 2 years ago. So it's a 3-year average, not including this year. So 3 years of premium paid in, claim experience, sets your experience mod. The work comp rates are, of course, set by the state. So firefighters, garbage men, whatever, those rates are all set by the state. But the experience mod really is controlled by the city's experience. So good risk management tactics and whatnot really helps you on that. So, like Brad said, it's nice to be able to deliver you a premium check instead of always coming after you for premium. So,
We just start this off every meeting, the first guy gives us $200,000, and we go from there.
yeah. EMC has paid a dividend for,
Another Tuesday, right, Rob?
probably, for at least I was looking back through here, 19, I think it's actually 20 of the last 26 years. That wasn't updated from a year ago. So this dividend program's been in effect for 25 years. And the last 2 years, last year was about 21%. It was very close to this amount. This is by far the largest dividend that EMC has paid. So, but just wanted to thank you for your business. If you guys had any specific questions.
I have one, but it's probably for David. I know I've asked this last year. I understand we don't want to put this in the budget because we can't count on it, but what do we do with this?
It'll be broken up between departments like the electric, water, sewer, and but we'll all get a portion as per how many staff they have in that department.
Oh, as a credit?
It just goes into their revenues. Oh, and general fund revenue for our portion, and then their revenue for the,
And that's a good point, Kirk. I mean, it isn't guaranteed, so, you know, I'd hate to have you budget for it and then you're accounting on it and you don't get it, so better to get it as a gift than not have it in the budget, so. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yep.
Rob. Appreciate it. So, up next is Table of Grace.
and there are some people here from Table of Grace too, if you have questions from them. We've probably been talking about this for a long time. We've had this in several different meeting packets. As you know, we went through the process of subdividing that piece of land out by the old recycling plant to sell that to Table of Grace to build a new facility. And we finally have gotten a contract worked out between them and us that is favorable for both. It's been reviewed by both sides, by G. Leaf and by their attorneys, and we've had several meetings, and so this is what we've come up with. The contract kind of, so to speak, says that they need to build that facility there. They can't just, you know, use the land for whatever they want. We tried to make sure we protected our interests and have put in there that it needs to be what it says it's going to be, and nothing more than that, or nothing less. So anyway, that's what we have tonight. And then there's also an ordinance following this too that you'll have to sign, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, but that would ordinance, passing that would start the remonstrance period.
You pass the ordinance, then you have to publish the terms for 3 weeks, then the remonstrance.
Okay.
You have to publish it for 3 weeks.
You do.
So does the ordinance get published first and then the following, okay.
We've actually done them on the same time, where you get
Okay.
the terms of the ordinance, you get the ordinance and the terms of the sale published in the same week, so you get that moving.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
2 weeks
So there's a
beyond that.
3 week supposed to, then the remonstrance period.
Yeah.
Okay, I was kind of close.
That's where you have a certain percentage of the voters that if they don't want you to sell the land, they can petition, get up a remonstrance and stop you from selling it.
It has to be a significant portion, I
Yeah, it's
think.
like, I want to say 30%, it is, 30% of the registered voters of the city voting at the last regular municipal election.
So
I've never had it occur.
Yeah, I can't imagine that
Yeah, it's
happening,
gotta
but I mean,
be-
it
it would
could,
be
I
tough.
suppose, if people really were. So I guess we just need you guys to either say yay or nay on the agreement between us. And- Or for, I guess, I think Sherry and Lee are here too, if you wanted to ask them anything.
Okay. So we have the ordinance read by title.
Oh, this is just the agreement. The first one is the agreement, the second one is the ordinance, right?
Right.
Do they would need to vote on both, right? Vote to accept the land sale agreement and then also,
Pass the ordinance.
so right now you're just voting to accept the sale
Is that on
agreement?
the agenda that way then?
Yeah,
I
land
think
sale
so.
to the table of grace is 5. And then 6 is consideration of the
Yeah.
ordinance.
We need both to make this deal happen, so. So I should have clarified that.
So we need to vote on number 5, is what you're saying?
That's correct.
Yeah, to agree to the contract.
Need a motion?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll make that motion. Second. Agreement?
Okay. Mr. Radcliffe makes the motion, and Mr. Sherman seconds that motion. And
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Wilson?
yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Okay. Unanimous. 4-1, 4-0. Okay, now we can go to the
Now the
ordinance.
ordinance, yeah.
We just read the title. Read by title.
An ordinance of the City of Sidney, Nebraska, authorizing the sale of all right, title, and interest of the City of Sidney, Nebraska in and to a tract of land legally described as Lot 3 of Sidney North Subdivision, being part of the southeast quarter of Section 29, Township 14, North Range 49, west of the 6th Prime Meridian, Sidney, Cheyenne County, Nebraska, containing approximately 3.2 acres, more or less, and specifying the terms of such sale in Section 2 below, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Sidney, Nebraska.
Do I have a motion to designate ordinance 1836?
So
Motion made by Elwinger, second by Mr. Sherman.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
What's next?
Whether to suspend, if you wanted to suspend.
How soon are you wanting to move? They want to move this pretty quick, don't they?
It'll be 3 months before they break ground. We've got like 3 more meetings with the architect, or 2. So we just met with
But-
the architect on Monday.
Okay.
So
That's 6 weeks.
the suspension is.
If we do
for
3
3
readings.
right?
Correct.
Okay.
So it should be,
Should be planned.
should be plenty of time.
Okay. Just want to make sure you guys do.
So is there a motion to suspend the 3 readings?
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Sherman and second by Mr. Radcliffe.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes. And now we what, read the number?
1836.
No, you read it by title. If they waive the 3 readings, then you read by title. If you don't waive the 3 readings, you read it by number. I think that's
Right.
correct. Right,
Okay.
yeah, but that's only if they, yeah. Right, so you can't, you've got to go ahead and read it by title.
An ordinance of the City of Sidney, Nebraska, authorizing the sale of all right, title, and interest of the City of Sidney, Nebraska, in and to a tract of land legally described as Lot 3 of Sidney North Subdivision, being part of the southeast quarter of Section 29, Township 14, North Range 49, west of the 6th Prime Meridian, Sidney, Cheyenne County, Nebraska, containing approximately 3.2 acres, more or less, and specifying the terms of such sale in Section 2 below, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Sidney, Nebraska.
Now, I need a motion to approve that, correct?
To pass the ordinance,
Okay.
correct.
Can I have a motion to pass the ordinance, 1836?
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Radcliffe, second by Mr. Sherman.
Sherman?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Now a motion to publish.
Motion to publish.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Sherman, second by Mr. Radcliffe.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Maybe it's back in time.
Read it by number.
Okay, next item on the agenda. Marshall's going to talk to us about the replacement of
My name is
Just when we
Marshall.
said we didn't have claims.
You know,
Just when we were talking about how good our insurance claims were, right?
Sorry, bringer of bad news. My name is Marshall Hall, Chief Building Official for the City of Sidney. During the May 23rd hailstorm, the Hillside Golf Course and Clubhouse and bathroom on the 12th hole sustained hail damage. We made a claim with EMC, the city's property insurance company. They reviewed the claim and approved it. We put out RFPs for the work and would like to request the city council to approve moving forward with the repairs and pay for the deductible through the general fund. The Hillside Golf Course golf course roof was replaced approximately 11 years ago, but due to the hail damage and the current roof has sustained a lot of leaks, and due to the high winds, lost a lot of shingle. And right now is in current need of serious replacement. Preferred Roofing did some temporary repairs over the past couple weeks. But that's just a temporary fix to tide us over until we can get this done. The city staff mailed off RFP packets for the replacement of the Hillside Golf Course clubhouse and the 12th green bathroom. We mailed them out to 6 licensed roofing contractors. The RFP asked for a complete tear-off and replacement of 64 squares, Class 4 shingles, ice and water shield, HVAC storm caps, plumbing jacks, rake and drip edges. The RFP was also put on the city's website for the community's reading pleasure. And so they could see that it was out there and anybody could bid on it who was licensed. Out of the 6 that we mailed out, we've gotten 4 back as of the April 25th deadline, and they are as follows. Preferred Roofing came in at $25,620.00. Weathercraft came in at $29,789.00. Twin City Roofing came in at $30,246.00. Sydney Roofing came in, at $32,247.60. The only preferred roofing bid is within the insurance company's estimate of $26,149.19. Once we minus the deductible, the city will have to pay $9,470.81. The city staff recommends that the lowest bid from Preferred Roofing for $25,620.00 be approved and the roof be replaced. The time frame for this replacement, if it's approved, was originally stated for mid-September 2022. I have since spoken with Mr. Ariano, the owner of Preferred, and he can get to it as early as May, the end of May. Are there any alternatives? No, not really, not at this point. The damage is pretty significant. Just going to get worse if we don't get it nailed down. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I'm a little confused on the deductible part. So if the bid's $25,000, and we deductible's 10, don't we just pay 10? And then the insurance pays the
If
difference?
the bid's under, it's just like if you were, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but I mean, we would, if you wreck your car and they give you $5,000, but it only costs you $4,900 to fix it, you keep the other 100, right?
Well, I mean, the deductible is $10,000. In that bid that EMC paid you, they also paid for some interior damage. There's a few other things.
Yeah.
Correct.
That we've already fixed.
And if that's probably where the difference is. If EMC has a holdback on just the roof, and they hold back basically the depreciation until you do it. If you chose not to replace the roof, then that's all you're going to get. But I think the net, what you're talking, it's a $10,000 deductible. That's what was taken off the total damage. But I think the difference in what they paid and what some of that stuff you can do yourself. I mean, they allow for some painting on the inside, and so if the city chooses to do that, I think it was like $300.
That was a small amount.
Yeah, it was small.
Look at the worksheet. Just for your guys' information too, the city has a $10,000 deductible per occurrence. So EMC also asked us to spot check several different locations. It was kind of unusual that this building was insured previously under Hillside Ventures. And when the city took it in April of 2018, the roof had just been done in like 2013. And so, we did spot check a lot of the other roofs because if there was a lot of hail damage, the deductible could be spread out over several buildings. We checked like the transportation building. We went to several ones. So that's why the difference. But yes, you're right, Bert, 10,000 is the deductible, but what you've been paid by EMC and with the whole back, that's probably what it works out.
Right now, all we've got in our pocket from the MC is about 10,000 something. The other 5,000 will be if we actually do the work. If we don't, then they don't give you the depreciation,
So just to clarify, the city will be cutting a check for somewhere around 10,000 to
Yep,
9,000.
yep, basically.
That was basically my question. And then I do have one other one, I noticed on the bids here. So all these other bids said, I'm gonna start in June, finish in August, one said I'm starting in May, finish in June, one said I'm starting in May, finish in June, and then the guy we're going with says it's a 2-day job. Is that true?
If he's got enough people, yeah, they can, roofers can pull that off, yeah.
And I don't know why some of these have such a big
Yeah, I don't know.
time zone, because usually that takes a few days.
Honestly, I didn't ask.
I didn't know that was.
That's interesting.
You know, Burke, in a given year, like originally when we talked to Dave, the hail damage, it probably would not leak. You probably could have strung it out through the end of this hail season. But shingles continue to blow off.
Yeah.
And once we've totaled it, we're not gonna, and I don't even know if Preferred Roofing actually charge you for those temporary repairs. They were probably entitled to charge you a couple $100. So originally, you know, you could have waited, but I think with the winds and the position of the roof, it's not gonna allow.
Yeah, it more just keeps coming off, and
Yeah, you had.
to my knowledge, he repaired it once and possibly even twice. That's kind of what I got through the grapevine, but at this point, I have not received any bills back, so I think he's just kind of taken that on.
You must have, when was the initial storm damage?
We have the date wrong in our memory.
Yeah, it did say 22, and I spoke with Dave, and he said, no, that was 21. May
Because this
23,
date hasn't
21.
happened yet.
Yeah, we're not quite there. We're projecting for
That's
the
how good
damage.
GMC is. Rob's on top of things.
Maybe about that.
I mean, we actually backdated, I mean, when they discovered it, and of course you've been with us, the golf pro for a while, when they first turned it in, we, you know, and we spot, it's amazing, Chris Johnson's building, where his shop is, it runs a different direction. It was fine, I mean, but that's how hail is. I mean, I don't know how many feet there are between it, but we did spot check that, because I thought, God, if this had it, this would probably get too, but I think we used 19 or 20 for the hail date.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact date.
But we went back, EMC originally sent out a reservation of rights letter because it was a late report, but not on purpose. It was like, you know, you don't get up on your roof every time there's a storm.
We didn't know, because it didn't affect any of the other roofs in the city,
Yeah.
so we didn't think there was any issues until it started getting bad and leaking.
Okay.
Very good. Any other questions? Okay, we need a motion to approve the fixing of the roof on Hillside Golf Course and for the city to pay the deductible and collect the rest from the EMC. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Marva, seconded by Brad Ratcliffe.
Wilson,
Yes.
Elwinger,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Redcliffe.
Yes.
Motion approved, 4-0. Okay, next item is downtown decorative lighting and action as needed. Mike Palmer.
Good evening, council. Mike Palmer, Electric Department. In your packet, you'll have a memo from me regarding the decorative lighting downtown. As the memo states, originally the 10th Avenue corridor was supposed to have decorative lighting from Hickory Street to King Street as part of the 10th Avenue repavement project. We did not continue to move from Illinois to Hickory Street in that area because the Hickory Street Square was under consideration at that time. Since the suspension of that, we kind of would like to get some direction from council on how you'd like to proceed. The lights on Illinois Street are in kind of disrepair as far as the decorative lights. So what we're recommending is to replace the lights, the decorative lights on Illinois, as well as that one block on 10th to kind of tie the whole downtown corridor together. This is not a budgeted item. This is something that we discussed putting in the budget for this coming year. We're seeing lead times continue to expand and prices to skyrocket, truthfully. So what we're proposing is to put these lights on order with, if this is what direction you wish, and they're probably most likely going to be here next budget year. So we budget for this to be paid out of the next budget year. If in the rare event that they would show up yet this fiscal year, we would go ahead and pay for them out of the streetlight line item, capital streetlight line item. That line item would be exceeded, but we would make it up in other areas. There's obviously, if the option is, we have 6 lights currently that were designed to go between Illinois and Hickory Street. Unfortunately, originally I just thought we'd just go put those up. There's actually 7 lights, existing light fixtures in that area, so we would have one oddball if we wanted to do that. From aesthetically pleasing, that probably wouldn't be the best thing to do. But, I mean, we do have 6 lights currently in our possession that we can use. And I believe there's 15 lights on Illinois Street. So the estimated, obviously I haven't got a firm quote on this, would be around $60,000. I would recommend that we would purchase a couple extra lights and poles in case of some car running them over. So I think we should probably look at maybe purchasing 17 poles, so it'd be around $70,000 in that range.
I guess-
So that's what you want us to purchase, the 70,000, right?
Well, really what we're looking for is just direction. If you don't want to look at replacing the decorative lights, that's obviously, this is kind of your guys' decision. From a budgetary standpoint, this is not budgeted in this fiscal year. So if you do approve it, this is a non-budgeted item, so we'll have to make it up in another area, which I feel comfortable we can do that.
But just for clarification, you're asking for 70,000.
Yes, yeah, that'd be.
And we had talked about this shortly after the last budget was already put together. And I remember we had this discussion, I think it was at that time I'd said, well, let's wait about 6 months and see where the electric department is then, because I don't want to commit to something and then put them in jeopardy later. And we are more than halfway through the budget year now, so I thought I'd ask Mike to put this together to bring back to you again. The reason for asking for your approval, rather than what Mike said, is just budget in next fiscal year and be done with it. But we don't know. If it was to come in early, then we would be spending a lot of money on a capital improvement that you never approved during the budget. So we kind of need you guys to say yes, just in case they do come in ahead of that next year's budget. We'll probably have them budgeted in both, next year just in case. But if not, I don't want to spend a bunch of money that you guys never approved during the budget process.
So the ones on 10th Street, I'm going to use the term, the good-looking ones, are
Yeah.
they the good-looking ones? You said they were in District Fair.
Those have the flags on them, the little markers.
So the 10th Street ones that were replaced in the 2015-16 time period are between Illinois and King Street on 10th. So like in front of the courthouse, in front of American National Bank, there's 2 blocks in there that are new poles, new lights. As Dave said, they have the flags. They're quite a bit taller. They're 16-foot tall rather than, I think the ones on the rest are 12-foot tall. We had that kind of, as that project, and then we were going to, they really wanted at the time in the 2015 time period to make 10th Street look the same. So we bought those existing 6 lights for that. So each of those blocks were designed to have 6 lights on, between Illinois and Hickory, Jackson and Illinois, and then King and Jackson. So each one had 6 on there, and kind of, for whatever reason, when they did the decorative lights on Illinois Street and on 10th at that time, they just kind of put them, like there's no rhyme or reason why they're where they're at. They're just kind of, here's one, and then there's not another one for 3/4 of a block, and then there's another one, and the next block, there's 3 instead of 2. So what this would recommend, or what this is going to do is put lights right back where their existing base. It's just the ones on Illinois Street, they're kind of, I mean, we're having trouble finding the actual fixtures to replace. They don't look the best.
Okay,
The
so
globes
what
are,
I'm trying to get at is the ones on Illinois Street were not just replaced recently,
they're old,
Or
yeah.
older
Oh,
They're 20, they
So while
are,
we put these others up that we've always had, we might as well.
yeah. Yeah, do you want them to look the same, is really what it amounts to.
They look really nice on
Light
here.
will go from where to where?
9th to 12th, I believe that's kind of the area they're currently in.
Roger couldn't be here tonight because he's with the track team, but he did ask me to mention to you guys that he was in favor of this.
He's a big fan of this project.
Any further comments? So we need a motion on the downtown decorative lighting item.
I move we approve. Second.
Moved and approved by the Brad.
Elwinger,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Claims for April, I'm the one that looked at the claims. I didn't find any problems on that, so. Anybody else have any comments on the claim?
Good enough for me, I move we approve.
For a second?
Second.
Okay. Sherman makes the motion and Elwinger seconds.
Sherman,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
Elwinger.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. City manager report.
I don't have much this time, other than on April 27th, I did attend the United States Air Force Ground-Based Strategic Deterrent, better I guess what they're calling it now is the Sentinel program, at the high school auditorium at 6 p.m. I know Marva was there because she was sitting by me. I don't know if anybody else made it, but I thought it was a very well put together presentation. They did a nice job. They had gigantic maps on the walls so people could actually go up and look and see right where the lines were going to be, if it was going to be in their property or not. It was they stayed and answered everybody's questions until they were done. So I thought they did a really nice job of that. And, yeah, it was a pretty good crowd. Pretty good crowd. And there was people from all over the county, and some of them that weren't even from this county, right?
Yeah.
Colorado was also there.
Yeah, there was a lot of people from Colorado, other areas that the project's gonna be in, so, it was very good. And, just in case anybody doesn't know this, it's probably, I'm sure you've seen this, they're back, Paulson is back now, and they're fixing a few of the panels on the link that, were damaged, so they're working on that, and then they also have to put the permanent striping up and all the little finishing touches. They're hoping to have that done here in a month or so. But they did have to close down, and this just happened Thursday, they did have to close down East Elm Street. So just so anybody knows, if you need to get to anything there, you gotta go off 30 around Greenwood, around the cemetery to get back to East Elm. You can't just get to it off the link now. For probably about the next 6 days or so, because they had to fix one of the panels that was right there on that turnoff, so. And also, probably most importantly to mention, while they're out there, keep in mind for everybody in the public that the speed limit's 45 during this, so fines are double. Keep you guys safe out there.
Thanks, David. Any comments from the city council? Marla?
This time.
Okay, Brad? Brad?
No comments.
No comments from me? Might as well be four. Any comments from the city department heads?
The only thing I would add is last meeting, we mentioned the basketball light, that is up and running now.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a push button on that. It'll run for 45 minutes to an hour. You'll get a blink for 5 minutes on top, there'll be a strobe, so when it comes to 5 minutes, it'll start blinking at you, to know to go push the button if you're still playing. They're set up from sundown to 11 o'clock. They will shut off at 11 o'clock and they won't be operational after that time.
It's getting a lot of usage.
That I don't know.
I've seen people out there when I've drove by there
I've seen
before.
it at night, but I've seen.
Have you taken a shot?
I turned the lights on, I didn't take a shot.
You want to do it in the strobe.
Wait for that 5 minutes.
Just so everyone knows, they should be operational and ready for use.
I don't understand item 11.
Oh, yeah, this is, it's just for informational thing, I forgot to mention that. It kind of goes with last meeting, but I went ahead and put it in this packet. It's our official letter of recognition, do I have it in my packet? Official letter of recognition for being a Tree City USA. I know they did the Arbor Day thing, celebration and all that before the last meeting, but we didn't get the letter till after this. But I just wanted you to see, this is kind of cool that we've been designated a Tree City for many, many years, so, and we retain that designation, so it's a kudos letter. But
Anything else for